Howdy, I'm Shari Ramirez-MacKay, and I'm a candidate to receive my Master's of Science degree in Human Resource Development in May of 2020. I do not have an HRD background. I actually come from an accounting background. The BBA I received from St. Mary's University has opened many doors for me. I've held jobs in the oil and gas field, private industry, education, local government, and currently I'm employed with the Texas Division of Emergency Management, which happens to be the newest state agency in the Texas A&M system. Also, I'm one of a few accountants who holds the distinction of being a certified emergency manager. My journey to the HRD program has had many curves and ups and downs. As I discovered in my HRD work, my career path has followed two theories: chaos and happenstance. Chaos because of the complexity of my career, and happenstance because some of the career situations I have found myself in seemed unrealistic. I received my BBA 33 years ago, and like I said, it's opened many doors for me. However, I was happiest when I was coaching and substitute teaching. Those 10 years fueled my desire to teach others something they didn't already know. As I mentioned before, I've held many different jobs with many different organizations. As a person who is always seeking a challenge, I discovered two things about myself. I love to teach, and I have a passion for emergency management. As my role as a supervisor grew, so did my desire to ensure that the employees received the training necessary to be successful. I learned early on that it was my job as a supervisor to arm my employees with the knowledge, skills, and advancement opportunities to either take my job one day or be my supervisor. All of my career choices, twists, and turns have led me to where I am today and into the EHRD program at Texas A&M University. The opportunities bestowed upon me have allowed me to gain life experiences that I would never have had if I had stayed in my original career path of accounting. My future career goals will be built from a combination of past experiences and my desire to seek new opportunities in human resource development. The human resource development role within an organization is focused on the human aspect of an organization. HRD ensures that the organization is staffed appropriately. To accomplish this task, HRD must include career development, training, and organizational development. HRD must also understand what motivates its employees and should put plans and programs into place that embraces those concepts. HRD and the organization must also think strategically and develop succession planning for its future. As the age of the workforce changes, HRD practitioners should be aware of the generations within its workforce and make changes within it to attract those employees. To emphasize this point, I chose 3 courses that helped increase my knowledge of what a good HRD program should look like and its importance to an organization. EHRD 614, Strategic Planning for HRD, EHRD 618, Evaluation Models in HRD, and EHRD 603, Applied Theoretical Foundations of HRD. EHRD 614, Strategic Planning for HRD, was full of lessons. The course began with a series of modules that centered around team building and communication. Little did I know it then how valuable those lessons would be during my team's project. Just like in all organizational structures, communication became essential in my team's success. This portion of the course provided me with the insight on how to deal with difficult situations. In this course, I learned how to evaluate an organization and give them feedback on how they could be a high-performing organization. High-performing organizations can increase revenue, attract and retain talent and employees, and can make them more competitive in their market. Organizations should strive to be an HPO. An HPO must be able to look at their entire strategic plan, financial, technological, and procedural, with an open mind and a willingness to make changes to it if necessary. EHRD 618 Evaluation Models in HRD walked us through the HRD applications and the relationships among the different types of evaluations. HRD programs should be evaluated to make sure that they are meeting the program's objectives, reviewing the program's strengths and weaknesses, ensuring that it is reaching the correct participants, looking at the program's effectiveness and return on investment, who is benefiting from the program, who isn't, why, and what corrective actions, if any, need to be implemented. In this course, I was able to use the skills I learned from previous courses such as EHRD 627 Research and 614 Strategic Planning in HRD. I felt a sense of accomplishment by being able to apply the information I learned and provide guidance to my fellow classmates. In this course, I learned how to create and properly apply the logic model to evaluate a training program. A logic model is a roadmap that illustrates the relationship between a program's resources, activities, and its intended effect. A logic model can be simple or complex. The model needs to be logical and realistic. In its simplest form, it has three components: inputs, activities, and outcomes. Outcomes should be short-term and long-term. Outcome objectives should also be SMART. That means they should be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-based. Developing a logic model can be a very lengthy process, but it's worthwhile if it's done properly. I have been able to utilize the logic model not only in this program, but also when I'm at work, when I need help solving difficult problems, or when I'm developing or laying out training plans for a division or an employee. I took EHRD 603, Applied Theoretical Foundations of Human Resource Development, during Hurricane Harvey. EHRD 603 was one of the two courses that I took in my first semester of the program. One of the final projects of the course was a metaphor assignment in which I compared HRD to coaching, and this is what I learned. A successful organization must have an effective HRD program, and it must have the backing of all of the members of the organization, starting with the CEO. A successful organization sees all of the people within the organization. Organizations are comprised of many different generations. Successful organizations find a way to create an atmosphere where all the generations are heard and learn from one another. Successful organizations create game plans or training programs necessary for its employees to gain the necessary skills to be successful. An organization will only be successful if its employees are successful. As previously stated, HRD must ensure that the organization is staffed appropriately. To accomplish this task, HRD has to include career development. Career development in an organization focuses on developing internal talent and career progression of its employees. Career development provides the employee with an opportunity to grow both professionally and personally. Career development includes listening to an employee's history, their needs, their shortfalls, and their goals. Career development helps employees develop a career path and milestones necessary to meet their career path goals. Career development also includes mentoring and coaching. Organizations that invest in career development help increase the retention of its employees and the recruitment of talent into its organization. Unfortunately, many companies do not invest the funds needed to create programs that are required to develop the career of their employees. For me, the course that best emphasized career development was EHRD 613, Career Development in HRD. It was the one class that truly focused on the student. One of the individual activities was completing the Contemporary Theories, Positionality, and Special Interest Groups in Career Development and Learning packet. The packet included a learning styles inventory. The inventory helped identify the type of learning style that I'm most comfortable with. It was not a surprise to find out that I'm more of a visual learner than auditory or tactile. The packet also included a timeline of my career lifeline, my connection between career development and adult learning, as well as a reflection on my positionality and how it impacts my career path. Understanding career goals is key to developing a career path for individuals within an organization. Having staff members complete a career development and learning packet would assist in providing the right type of training options available to the employees. Also, training staff would have the ability to reflect on whether or not the training can be developed in-house or if it needs to be contracted out, and the costs associated with both methods. In my opinion, employees are the greatest asset an organization has, and investing in them can only increase the value and competitiveness of an organization. Employees, though, must have the necessary knowledge, skills, and expertise to do their job. How an employee gains these job skills is both the employee and the organization's responsibility. Employees are not entering the job force the same way as in the past. Currently, some organizations have 4 generations in their force, and each comes with a different set of skills and knowledge. One of the functions of an organization's training department is to provide the most appropriate training courses for the employee. Providing training courses is not as easy as it once was though. Training is usually one of the first programs cut when an organization is looking to save funding. Therefore, training must be able to defend why they exist. Training must evaluate its program to ensure that a rate of return and investment is met and maintained. Training must also be efficient and effective, and it is essential that trainers understand their students and how to educate adults. With the change of workforce and more individuals working from home and with smart devices, training must be offered in a multitude of ways. I chose 3 courses that I thought best emphasized training: EHRD 612, Introduction to Training and Development, EHRD 613, Adult Learning, and EHRD 673, Introduction to Distance Learning. EHRD 612, Introduction to Training and Development, took the class through a series of case studies that built on one another. The cases explored the many different phases of training. We, my team, had to analyze the situations and create an action plan on how to best overcome the training scenarios presented. EHRD 630, Adult Learning, focused on how I learn as well as how adults learn. For the first part of the course, the class had to conduct a personal learning audit on themselves. I kept a spreadsheet on how I spent my time during the day, and when I studied, what I studied, and how long I studied. The inventory brought to light that I'm a creature of habit. I study primarily the same time every day. After the inventory though, I made adjustments as to how long I studied to ensure that I gave my brain a break between work and school. In EHRD 673, Introduction to Distance Learning, I was asked to create a training course for adult learners. In doing so, I created an online course using Articulate 360 Rise. Prior to this course, I had never used Rise before. So although I was completing a project for graduate course, I was also learning a new skill that I didn't have before. This is the skill that I've been able to incorporate into my job function in my organization. In EHRD 614, I was asked to write my personal strategic career plan, which included short and long-term goals. In the plan, I set 4 goals. Well, those goals have changed slightly since my role in TAMU has changed. But no matter what journey my career takes me on, I will continue to advocate for organizations to develop programs that include the career advancement of its employees, setting career goals for them, and providing training programs so the employee and the organization can be successful. Thank you for viewing my journey of the EHRD program at Texas A&M University and the lessons I learned along the way.